Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. I want to speak to you today as a scientist, a social scientist. And I want to reflect on, for a moment, if I may, this problem that we are experiencing, people one unto the other. And I want to kind of see if I can put some things in perspective. We living in a society, not just this a society, but a global society, where everything has been predicated on the I, or the me, or the we, as it is separate from the rest. It is my country, my tears. It is these things such as my race, my gender, or my nationality. We, in that sense. But I am the best. And so, if everybody is saying they are the best, and meaning that whatever equates best to the society and what we have chosen to accept as the best is what people have, the kind of power they have, the ability to do things, to make things happen, to have control by just having access to what people need or want. And so everybody's going after everybody to get that, and that's a great big challenge. And people lie, cheat, and steal on a society that permits this type of conduct to benefit and prosper. And I mention this because I'm looking at this political race. We got people telling us this, and let me just go back with the political parties, more specifically the Republican Party. We're talking about what these people say that they can do for you. And you, the American people, have you thought for one moment, just a moment ago, there was a man that was promising us that they could change the world for the best. The whole world was hoping that Barack Obama, because he promised the world. And we see what the result is. And now you got a man who rides around and says, I don't need your money. Look what I've done on my own. Look what I've done on my own. And I'm bragging about it because I can do that. And so he rides to places where there's a rally for him in his big plane, showing off his wealth. And this touches people. Oh, he has done this. He can do this for us. Government won't, but he can do this for us. He can negotiate in behalf of government and prosper for us. Now here's a man who has made himself. And he'll brag about it. He'll brag about it in a minute. But the people are thinking that put him in power. Now he's already, and I don't mean to knock him, I'm just telling it like it is. He's already told the ladies to go sit down. He's told the immigrants to go sit down. And he's ready to tell blacks to go sit down the moment they get out of line. And the whites and the conservatives and the Christians are loving him. But are they really loving him? Or does it appear that they're loving him through that media that we are being fed through? This man who seems to put everybody down but himself, and yet his ratings seems to be going up. His ratings seems to be going up while he's putting everybody else down. That seems like somebody is manipulating this, that this is happening. Now, when Barack Obama, who promised you the world, could not deliver, now you, by your own choice, want to put a man in power according to what the ratings and the polls are saying, that has proven that he's only given a damn about himself. But now, I don't mean to single him out, because that's what happened to all rich people. They didn't give a damn about anybody but themselves. The foolishness is, why is it that you the people don't see that? Oh, he downs people who say they get money from other folks. And at the same time, he doesn't need other folks' money. Does that make him better than the folks who get money People who say, I support this guy. Now this man says, I don't need your money. I'm coming in on my stupidity. I'm coming in on whatever I want. And you living it according to the information that we're being fed. Now I say that to say this, that this society in America and the societies of the world, they're built on the premise of I. This is why, for those of you who are very conscientious about what's going on in the world and around the world, who are familiar with the New World Order, they are speaking about changing this thing. And what it is about world power. The same kind of power that we understand as the spiritual power. We as human beings live on this earth, and this earth has been equipped to do all the magnificent things that it does. And the people have been able to do all the great things that they do. Now there's a power who has been out here reaching out since the beginning of time to rule everything. And now it has moved through propaganda to the point where the people are so deceived and people are so divisive that it does not see what's happening around it. And all it would take is someone who cares about nobody, not the women, not the natives, not the immigrants, only cares about themselves. That's the special kind of person that the New World Order needs to sit on the powerful throne in the world. That's like saying to Jesus Christ, those of you who are familiar with the story, I'll give you the world if you will let me be your boss. Jesus Christ said no. But the people who are running for president today are saying, yeah, okay, you can be my boss, just make me president. And this is what you, the American people and the people of the world, are choosing. You are choosing that because you do not know that the choice also is available to you, that every farmer is a farmer who loves the farm and would have it any other way. And everyone who wants to be a farmer would have the doors open for the opportunity to be the best farmer they can be with all of the education there, whatever is required to make you just that. And then all of those other little jobs that's involved in being a farmer or to bring all of the necessities together so a farmer can have what is required to do farming. All of those positions are filled by individuals who would have it no other way. It was like they were born to do it. Why? Because the doors have been opened to say, you can be what you want to be. If you need a lot of education to be what you want to be, it is right there. If you need just a teeny-weeny bit of education, it is right there. And if you just need mother wit to get you through the day, it is right there. Now, what could be better than this? What a nut would want this, I believe. And so the people don't know that this is available to them. They don't know that being in the medical field, that if you got this desire to help people in some kind of way, I don't know, but you do. But whatever those ways are, the doors are open so that you can be whatever you want to be in these fields. They're unlimited. The training is available to you to assist you whatever you need to be the best you can be in whatever. If the doors are open for you in a society like that, the one that is open to you just like that. You don't hear information about stuff like that. You don't hear information about whatever business that you want to do, whatever dreams you have, whatever aspirations you have. Those doors are open. You see, there are certain things that are coming amongst us. Food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare. These things are coming. So these are the first things we guarantee to ourselves. We guarantee it to ourselves by guaranteeing that these essentials will be met for everybody. Nobody left out. Well, see, that kind of thing you are not told about. You are not told that you can be in any profession that you want to be in. Not a profession that says you gotta be in this because, look, let me give you an example. A ditch digger. Now, we know what we have said about ditch diggers. We have said that a ditch digger had basically no no education. Maybe the people who designed and structured where the ditch was going to be made and stuff like this had a little education, or a lot of education, depending. But to take a shovel and just dig, didn't take too much education for that. You know, sort of like, you say wrestlers, you see people wrestling, you think they dumb. They're not dumb. They're making all the money they want to make. But a ditch digger, or somebody who's cleaning a toilet, you say, oh, I would never want to do a job like that. But now these jobs, digging ditches, is the greatest job that a ditch digger, a true ditch digger, could ever imagine having. And he can dig one heck of a ditch. And the guys who can clean toilets, the ones in this that I'm telling you about now, would be the best. I mean, your toilets would be just like, why? Because the people who are taking care of those toilets are people who want to be just right there. And you know why they don't suffer and they don't mind? Because it doesn't matter whether they're digging a ditch or whether they're cleaning a toilet. It doesn't matter whether they're the executive of some major operation within the operation limits, not only of the national government, but the international governments. Whatever one can do, the other can do as well. Because they participate in the operation of life. They participate in the operation of life, entitling them to what part of life they want. They are making life for themselves. They are guaranteeing it to themselves. You're not told that you can do this. This is a choice that's open to you. So knowing this right now, for those of you who have heard my voice, just knowing this, can you see yourselves voting for Donald Trump? Can you see yourselves voting for anybody that the Democratic Party puts up? Or can you see yourselves voting for yourselves? Now, the thing of it is, between now and then, if you see yourselves voting for yourselves, there's a way you can interject into this process so that you can actually get credit for voting for yourselves. But if you are thinking that Donald Trump, in his way of presenting himself as not caring about anybody but himself, and that's exactly what the way you feel, that you care about nobody but yourself and you want to latch on to Donald Trump like flies on syrup, then you do that because that's who you are. And you are seen by the world for being that. Don't think, I know you don't care, because Donald Trump will tell you in a minute he doesn't care, and you're riding on him saying you don't care either. That's okay. We know what happened there, and we love you in spite of that. But those of you who says, well, I think the Democrats are okay, and I want to ride on the Democrats thinking that you're going to get something different, I promise you, you might, because the way Donald Trump is, you will get something better from the Democrats, but it won't be but just a teeny-weeny bit better. It's like turning down a big devil for a smaller devil, but a devil is a devil. And you voted. You voted for that devil. So whatever that devil does, you have chosen the devil. So what do you expect? I mean, I know what you expect. You think you're going to get some God out of this devil. You think you're going to get some God out of the small devil. But the end result is you're going to get some devil. That's why he's a small devil, a big devil. He's a devil. That's what he's known for. Whatever good comes, what he's known for is being a devil. So that's what you're going to get. And that's what you voted for. That's basically what you deserve. This is what I want people to always understand. You get what you deserve. Now, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to close this tape out, but I want to tell you this, the difference between the two types of powers. I mentioned earlier the earthly powers versus that of the spiritual powers. That power that I mentioned about wanting to reign on the earth, you've heard about the New World Order, as I mentioned, who wants to get on that seat, that throne of worldly powers. And they want to eradicate billions of people off the earth because the billions of people on the earth are consumers. You are reaping, well, you made it, you produced from the earth what you have done, but the New World Order says the plan is, according to what has been made available to people who are searching information, is that billions of the people would have to be exterminated from the earth. And they got a process, you know. They're not going to just grab all the billions to put you together at one time and wipe you out. They got a process of doing it. It has to do with police killing, has to do with riots, has to do with people running across borders, it has to do with bombings, it has to do with all of the terrorist acts. It's all put together for that come-out purpose, splitting you up in such a way that they end up being on the throne. And how they, after they've gotten rid of so many people, now the resources are made available to the powers that be. And the people who are surviving are allowed to reap certain amounts of rewards to keep them in the place that they have been put in, and to make them feel a little satisfied, and to even have those under them, still a class structure, but that's the purpose. Now on the other side is that the spiritual side, which usually we talk about God, and when I talk about God, I'm talking about Allah, and I'm talking about all the other gods that have come from the other parts of the world that we don't know anything about. They are referring to that wonderful power, the power that created all things. Then we're talking about the same God. If that God allows for every individual to reap love, to say that in this context, to say that everybody has a home, and it's the home of their choosing, to say that everybody has unlimited food, clothing of their choosing, and having access to travels, but most of all, having before them that career. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing like, you watch sports players. These guys they play for the money, but they play too for the crowd that's screaming. That's when the entertainers on the stage, yes, they perform for the money, but they perform for the crowds that's screaming and going mad. That's magic. And so to be doing what you were created to do is like magic. And to teach when you were created to teach, but not out here working at some other job because that's the job that paid a little bit more money, and the type of living you wanted to live required a little bit more money than that teachers get. But like these ball players who play and have fun, now you're teaching having fun. And your students are in class because they're not just stuck in classes, but based upon what their aspirations have been up to this point, also including where they're coming from. It's made available to them in such a way that it makes learning exciting. And so now you got teachers excited, you got students excited, you got outcomes exciting. Not just in this area, but all across. Not just in this city, this state, this nation, but all across. Why? Because now the world is changing so that the people can participate in the creation. You got to believe what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. All of this is in your hands. It's in your hands because now the spirit that we were talking about now is living, alive in you. Yeah, they're talking about a power sitting on a throne. Maybe a Donald Trump or somebody like that, or Hillary Clinton or somebody like that. But over here, it's every last one of you. Every last one of you got the power in you, the spirit. And the thing about it is the spirit that's in you is the same spirit that's in everyone else. Because it's a common spirit to have each and everyone's dream come true. It's a common spirit. And it works like that. I'm trying to tell you now, once you step across the line of talking about what truly love is about, once you start stepping across the line talking about what truly God is about, and recognizing that the God that they told you about to ride out of the sky or to rise up out of the sea or to come from anywhere other than something that you couldn't see, but all of a sudden start materializing yourself in you. And where two or three of you are together, what can you imagine happens when all of you together? Now, how do you distinguish between the two, the spirit people and the world people? Here's how you distinguish it. The people, to have their way, will kill you. That's why they're going to take away billions of people from the earth. To have their way, they're going to take away billions of people from the earth. To have their way. But the secret is, from the spirit side, those people who choose the spirit side remembers and recognizes one thing, that all existence comes from a power unseen. All existence, everything comes from a power that's unseen. Then they recognize that their existence comes from a power that's unseen. They know that now. Where I come from is the powers are unseen. So they recognize now that they are not really in control, and they are not going to allow the powers over there to be in control. So they leave it in the hands of the powers that are true. So they are willing to let that, if that power over there wants to take their lives, they are willing to let them. This is why they're willing to let them. They are willing to let them because they know that the moment they step out of this hellhole to them is the moment that they step in the continuation of their dream. They know this. They know this. They just know it. So one is cutting off the way. What about the people that died? What about the billions of people that just get killed, maybe from fighting and brutality and all of that? What happens to them? I'm going to be honest and tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what happens to them. I really do not know what happens to them. But I do know, that's the message I was given, is that for those who recognize and make the choice, who recognize, who make the choice, who desires to know, that's who it's revealed to. Because we're talking about going to a place. We're talking about an experience, ladies and gentlemen, of this peace that you're willing to let somebody kill you for. I want peace, and I refuse to engage in what you do. We're talking about people who want prosperity for everybody to the such degree that they, rather than settle for prosperity for some and pain and suffering for others, they would rather die. And you got people who are talking about joy for the whole human race. And rather than settle for less than anything than joy for the human race, they'd rather die. And they die. What do you think they get? What do you think they deserve? What seed did they plant? They plant their entire lives on peace, prosperity, and joy for every human being. So that's exactly where they're going. Where peace, prosperity, and joy exhibits for everybody. And why are they going there? Why? Because everybody else that's there did the same thing. They deserve to be there. They planted their seed. That is their reward. You shall reap what you sow. And what's happened to everybody else? I don't know about the ones that's been killed. I'll leave that to you and God. You and whatever spiritual power that you got to deal with. But the ones that's out here on planet Earth, with that one ruler, with that whip, using the rest of the people for their servants while they live in their human kingdom, is what the choices have been made. And I say this because the door is still open, even at this point in time, for those who have been left remaining here on this planet under the pretense of me and mine and stuff like this. There'll come a time when they will wake up, when they will want to know. And when they want to know, they will recognize they are like eating slop and enthralled with pigs. And with the story that they've resisted for all of their lives, now it's true. They can see it as plain as day. And they're ready to go that way. Then they'll start stepping across the line. Before they settle for it, you got to take their lives. And you change or you take their lives, because they know now that they'll be stepping right into life. And you get kind of stuck up. You get a little worried because everybody starts stepping off into life. You start thinking, hey, you better chill for a minute. After a while, I want anybody to be left here but you. Well, isn't that way you always wanted it? Didn't you always say you wanted to build your house out in the woods somewhere where you wouldn't have to be around people? Isn't that what you always used to say? But now you won't have to be around anyone. Think about it.